Bitcoin just got slammed. No, not in a random way, but through a level that mattered for years, right? And right now, it's sitting in where I call the floating zone. It's below multi-year support and directly under resistance. Now, this is the part of the move where most people misunderstand, misrepresent, and have too much hope or too much fear in. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter what everyone has sold you about what happened, the narratives, the story, all that doesn't matter. Only thing that matters right now is how it behaves here, how price action behaves here. What happens in this zone, in the floating zone, I'm going to show to you. Okay, stay tuned until the end. What happens in the floating zone will likely set the tone for the next few months. There are two possible paths from here, and one of them is far likely than most people think, and that might be unfortunate for most. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to go over price action, over chart, talk about everything, and make sure that you get out of this video with the correct information to make sure to know what might happen and how to execute based on that. So let's take a look at the chart. This is Bitcoin, our beloved DJ of the markets. Okay. Look, now it's not a secret. Everyone can see it, even though prior to it, no one saw it. Well, I did. But this is the head and shoulders that broke confirmed bear market below the 50-week moving average. The 50-week moving average now is sloping down. And all right, and this is the important thing. We broke below this multi-year support and resistance area. You can actually take it all the way back here, and instead of doing just a line, we can do an area which would represent the floating area, okay, that I was referring to right now in the introduction. Okay, this is the floating area, all right, and we are right hovering a bit below it, a bit in it, all right, just below the area which was the support and resistance area, which was the 74,000. We're actually below the 70s right now, in the 68s. Okay, this is the floating zone. At least I coined it, I named it. Okay, what's the floating zone? The floating zone is the area of what happens either if it's bullish after a breakout from a long-term support and hovering above it, or in this case, okay, a breakdown after a long-term resistance, okay, which is, of course, it was here resistance and all through this area was support in the past, breaking below it and now floating just below it, all right, just below it. Is it now? It's in this area where you have either too much hope, too much people are like, oh my God, this is the last, shakeout before we're just going to go to the moon, $1 million Bitcoin, whatever, blah, blah, blah. All these people that just like to talk, have no skin in the game, know nothing, right? Or too much fear. We're in a multi-decade bear market, which you're going to see $10,000 yet again, right? Neither of those will probably pan out from a probability standpoint. Now, anything can happen. I appreciate it. I'm not a clairvoyant. I do not know the future, right? But I do know one thing. I'm a top 10 trader in the US Investing Championship for 2025. I'm a damn good trader, and I do all this trading crypto for multiple years, right? Many, many years. I'm here since 2016 when I was a newbie that didn't know anything and just got lucky, up until now, a decade now, that I actually know a thing or two, and I've seen quite a bit. Okay. And the floating zone and how we behave around it is going to dictate the next few months in this paradigm. Okay. If we just float, and let me just, paint everything just in a more ordinary fashion. So we have it kind of neat, right? This is the floating zone right over here. We're actually right below it. Okay. So the most likely path is the path no one wants to hear, is that we're going to continue creating something like this for a while and then break down, all right? Something like what we did here that was emulating the left side. Now, this is the left side, something that was emulated on the right side and then continue down. This is the most likely path, okay? And that's the path no one wants to kind of admit and do, all right, or believe in. The one that most people want to happen, and again, a lot of people think that wishful thinking is intuition. It's not. It's wishful thinking, right? The fact that you think this was just a shakeout because how aggressive it was, and now it's going to go back to the moon, is more wishful thinking than possible. Is it possible? Of course. Is it probable? Very low probability. Okay. And again, I don't know the future. I know all you trolls about how you don't know the future. Okay, I don't. Okay. It- Get the F out of here if you're a troll. I don't you don't need to watch my videos. I don't care because you won't really learn. I'm here to teach and show you guys how it's done. Okay. So this has a low probability. What does have high probability is, as I said, something of just being in this floating area for the next couple of weeks and then potentially breaking down, maybe another move sideways and potentially even down longer. I'm not sure. Usually, we like to be symmetrical in sideways, and it can happen. This is like 6 to 8 months. I'm not sure we're gonna have 6 to 8 months sideways over here. Let's see. All this, area here was 260 16 days. How much was all this? Much less, right? So only 70 days. So 30% of the time. So in 30% of the time, here is like 2 months still. So we can have a couple of weeks to a couple of months here moving sideways before we break down. That's the most likely path of action. And we're probably going to get halted at this area. All right. You see this area over here? The 50K, 48 to 50K. This is the area. 48 can be, it. The 48 area can be very much an area where it's going to be ishy, right? Where we kind of bottom and bottom out. Now, again, it's going to be a process. It's going to take time. I might be wrong, and we need to evaluate it when it happens. I can't come right off the bat right now saying that's going to be the low. Buy it then. Blah, blah, blah. Forget about it. No, because that's going to be stupid, right? That's going to be me just guessing game. I'm not playing the guessing game. I'm doing the speculation game, and trying to find out areas that we might get to. Okay. But the main story that I'm trying to say is that most people are still kind of hopeful, but they're going to get dismantled and they're going to get in. Maybe it's not even hopeful anymore. Maybe it's more denial more than anything. I think we're in a denial part of the psychology of a market cycle where people just, oh no, yeah, we're still in it. It's not hope anymore. It's more of denial, and we're going to get smashed into fear and anger very much sooner. And I think anger is going to hit around these areas. And usually, anger is usually where things kind of bottom out. Again, I don't think we are going to see new all-time highs in 2026. All these, big influencer, I don't know, Michael Saylor buying, Tommy Lee's buying. I think it's all BS. I think they're stupid, and because they're just buying um, without understanding market structure. Look, if they will hold long enough, I still believe we're in a secular bull market, right? I don't think we went into a secular bear market just yet. I do think we're going to have one in the future, by the way. I do think we're going to have a secular bear market in the future, but I don't think we hit that mark just yet. We might have. We might have. But I don't think. I think we might have one more cycle that will take us to 200-ish area, 1,000 area. I don't know. I don't think we're going to have 500K or a million, not anytime soon, really. But I might be wrong. Okay, but anyways, this is the story. Bitcoin got slam dunk. People are in denial right now, hoping too much that it will recover, bounce. But the actual fact is that Bitcoin is weak, the bounce is weak, price action is probably going to remain weak, and that's all you need to know. You don't need to believe stories, influences, big wallets, big whales, what they do. You just need to look at the chart. The chart is showing weakness. Until proven otherwise, we are in a bear market, weak territory that wants the path of least resistance is still down. Okay, very much down. That's what I think is going to continue. And again, if more information, I'm going to update my information, my Bayesian update or whatever they call it, with more data. I will update my views. That's how real traders do it. That's how professional money, takers and ROI seekers of the market work. We don't work with certainties. We work with probabilities. We don't work with I'm going to fight the market. We work with I'm going to work with the market to make the most out of what I do. Okay. These are my thoughts. Hopefully, they got to you. If you like it, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and consider joining our team of winners. All you need to do is scan the QR code and come. You need to stop being complacent, holding coins. You need to stop being a loser that is just losing, not a loser as a human being, but a loser in just bleeding your capital out. You need to stop relying on luck over and over again to save it, because that will just create a boom and bust cycle instead of just a move linear up. You need to stop believing that a YouTuber that has no idea what he's doing just tells you, "Oh, buy forever, perpetually buy," without any, regard to risk management, to selling, when to sell, taking profits, and taking losses, and so on. Stop all that nonsense you have been doing so far and join a winning team. You need it. The first thing you do in the Elite VIP is you come, we go on a phone call, me, you, and CM, my partner, which is an exceptional trader by himself, and we're going to save you from continuous bleeding. We're going to put you on the right path. Stop doing what you're doing. Come join a winning team. You won't regret it. Until next time, thank you very much. No edge, no trade.